Hi ladies, I'm just going to quickly pop over to Facebook and just tag everybody in, see if anybody wants to join me live today. But I hope you are good. I'm super excited to come back to day 2 of my brand new live series. Um, mm, mm, mm. Yeah, great. I'm just going to pop in the comments there. Everyone, at everyone. I don't know if that works, but let's see. At everyone, day 2 series. How I made my first 10k month. Yay, so then I will see if anybody else is going to be joining live. Let me know if you're here and you're watching along. Let me know if you're watching back on the replay. Thank you so much for doing that yesterday, because it really does help me to know if this is helpful. You know, like I've got all of this, I'm very intuitively led and I know the value of these conversations, but you know, having your feedback really does help. So let me know, be active in the comments. Let me know if this is resonating with you, because I just feel so passionately that we need to have honest conversations about what it takes to make a 10k business. Because I think the days of literally just turning up or having a swipe up on your socials meant that you were automatically going to be successful in business have long gone. Like, here's the thing, all of the people, I always say, you might find this funny, and I was talking about it on Florida and it's very divisive, but in the coaching space, there are a lot of narcissistic people that will take your money, that will not care if you are getting results in your programs. And I had so many mind-blowing conversations over the last week of people just giving me the most incredible horror stories about programs that they've been in, about high level leadership coaches saying 8% of your people are never going to finish your programs, and that's okay. And to me, that's not okay. So that's again why I felt just so passionately about it. And I always say, like, the coaching space brings all the narcs to the yard, because it's just such a great platform, isn't it? You know, you don't need to really even be certified, qualified, or really have any value. You can just burn through your audience, invest in Facebook ads, get a new audience, and just sell anything that you want to if you are a person of low integrity. And because of that, because of the opportunity, because of the way that it's pitched and sold in the online space, you know, I made 100k in my pants, didn't do any work. I made 10k months straight out the gate, replaced my corporate salary within 5 minutes. It's like, is that true? First of all, I would definitely encourage you to be super discerning on that. And if it is true, you know, what went on, what, you know, as I said yesterday, you know, it is possible. Absolutely. I'm a money mindset coach. I believe in like the possibility of abundance and what is available to anybody. But equally, you've got to be like such a strong person, you know, no resistance at all. You've got to have all of your money mindset in check and in alignment with what you want. You probably also got to have a few things like maybe a team or an ad spend, or already an established relationship with your audience. You know, I think long gone, like I said, are the days that people are just so trusting and so willing to invest without a bit of kind of social proof or you know, a bit of nurturing first. And I think people are quite rightly becoming much more discerning with where they're spending their money. So these, you know, because I remember thinking it like, oh my God, like people are earning like £10,000 and they're sitting on a beach. Like, am I a mug because I'm going to work? Like, am I, well, not, this was not even going to work, but where my business was 7 days a week, I was like, am I missing something here? They've got no overheads, they've got no staff, and they are making all of this money. And I think it turned my head for like a minute, and then I was like, no, I'm okay. I don't want to have to sell my soul to make money. There's always easier ways to make money. And then obviously, like I said, I eventually realigned with it all, and it all just came together really beautifully. So obviously, if you didn't watch day 1 yesterday, there were only like 10-15 minute videos. That's my intention, and it's to just take you on this journey that I went on, that I feel is quite typical for most representative of most online service providers. You know, yes, you get the exceptions and the anomalies, and I'm so excited for that, but then equally I'm not, because what I learned on that journey has honestly just filled my cup so much in terms of what I am capable of, my self-belief, my confidence, my resourcefulness, my creativity, my connections. Like, I would not want to bypass that journey for quick wins, you know, because I would have no way of reverse engineering it, or if times ever did get tough, knowing how to get myself out of it. Like, I have literally been on the full roller coaster spectrum of entrepreneurship, and I'm grateful for it. And this is why typically, you know, you see these really incredible, like, high net worth individuals lose all their money, they make it back within like a fraction of the time. And it's because they've taken all of those incredible lessons and blessings, and they've come back bigger and better than ever. Oh, hi ladies. I'm so sorry, for some reason your comments aren't coming up, but let me know. Oh, it says that I've got 2 comments, but it doesn't say any comments there, so apologies for that. Just keep persevering and I'll catch up with them after. Let me know what's resonating. So I just wanted to kind of like really take you on that journey that I went through, that I think now has essentially created this unstoppable mindset for me, but also made me a really valuable asset in whatever I do next. If I was suddenly to decide that I don't want to do coaching anymore, I could literally walk into any leadership role, any managerial role, any business, any industry, and I'm good. Like, I've got a full toolkit of things that are going to support me in whatever my next level. So do you know what? Nothing really scares me anymore. Even when we did the interviews in Florida, a lot of the women, you know, were really nervous, really scared. And I was like, I'm just good. Like, I know in myself that whenever I need to turn it on, whenever my back's against the wall, like, I'm good. I've proven that to myself many, many times. And even if it is an absolute shit show, do you know what? This isn't my only opportunity. I believe in abundance. I'll be fine. There'll be something else. And I trust that the universe is not going to make me look like an idiot and, you know, give me this incredible opportunity only to like ruin it at the last minute. I am sure whatever needs to be said will be said, and it will be fine. And, you know, and I'm so lucky that I have that, because that wasn't me BSing. That was very genuine. Like, I truly knew. And I think I did a little bit of like prep, ran the pool like the morning of. And then when I got there, he didn't ask me any of the questions anyway. So I was like, he didn't ask me any of the questions that I thought he was going to ask me. So it actually just completely took a different turn, and it was much more soulful and much more just, you know, really leaning into the purpose of why I wrote the book, as opposed to it can help you with this, this and this. It was just lovely. And that ultimately is how it was meant to be. So I have full trust that that is going to connect with somebody on a level that I hadn't even anticipated. And I'm excited for it. I can't wait to share it with you guys. Sorry, that's like my first tea of the day. You know, they're like sacred. So essentially, yesterday I covered off about the fact that to get to 10k months, you need to make sure that you're building a business that's in alignment with you, and it's something that you feel really passionate about. I'm doing the 10-day challenge, 10 days to 10k challenge today, and I said, like, you need to get to a point where you are obsessed with your business, like you have so much belief in it, and it's just a case of like, I need just more people to see it. I need to get it out there because I know I can help them. And it's that confidence, that conviction, that connection that will ultimately sell your offers anyway. When you are somewhat like, yeah, I can kind of help you, maybe I can help you, well, I've kind of learnt this thing, and when we're kind of apologetic and we're kind of like leaning back, people feel it, and then they're like, no, I'm okay, I'll wait, you don't sound sure. And definitely for me, that was like the biggest thing that I had to learn as I went through this process. Just like an overarching theme is that I needed to believe in myself more and the results that I could create, because the reality was I went into it with a perception of people are just going to come to me because they want money. And don't get me wrong, people do want money, and absolutely, like, we need to have that money. But a lot of the time what was happening as a byproduct was that they were opening up in different ways. They were receiving expansion in different ways. Their life was improving, completely nothing to do with their business, but they were changing, so everything else was shifting and changing too. And that just became like beautiful byproducts. And I realized that actually it's just as much about that as it is about the money. And then it really made me kind of just feel more in alignment with what I was selling, because it's not just numbers on a page. It's like, actually, I'm calling in women that are so much more than that and want so much more than that. And it took off some of the pressure that it needed to be this, you know, and it really allowed me to, and when I witnessed like my clients then, you know, go on and on and on and thrive and, you know, use that platform to go on and do incredible things, it was like in some small way I had a part in that. So that still adds up in my favor, you know, it still adds up in my favor, still, you know, is testament to the work that we did together. So that's the thing. So that was just that common thing that I think you should be aware of, because here's the thing, every time. So today's theme is all around mastery. Basically, that was my next thing. So I got into business coaching and really like got clarity on that is my thing. That like I love the business of business. And I really feel compelled to help women in particular. I'm sick of seeing incredible heart-led women and creatives like just literally coming and going because they can't figure out the masculine side of business. Because to me, that's something that's already always come so naturally. You know, I've got a highly logical brain, so it is something that always made sense to me. So it's like, actually, I can support these women. So I'd already done that on the first day or first step. The next step was then like really committing to knowing my shit. And this is, again, I think it's something that a lot of people don't necessarily commit to when they come into the online space, because we're being sold on the front end that it's no work, loads of money, anybody will buy anything. You know, I've done network, you know, marketing businesses as well that kind of present the same sort of thing where it's like, oh, this woman's retired her husband, this woman's got a car, this woman is like earning shed ton of money. And the reality is there's a lot of work that had to go in behind the scenes, but nobody wants to talk about that because that's not glamorous, that doesn't sell. And it's like, but actually that is the journey, that is the work, that is how you get to that point where you can convert somebody in 5 minutes on a sales call, because you've got so much confidence and so much conviction, and you know the answers to every question that they've got. They feel safe with you, and ultimately that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to create safety. If somebody doesn't invest and yet they're already on your list or in your audience, they're obviously somewhat curious, but typically it's a them problem, it's not a you problem. There might be some tweaks and stuff that you need to make with your marketing, but it's they don't trust themselves to get a return on the investment with you, versus they don't see the value of what it is that you offer, because why would they be following you? Why would they be opening your emails? Why would they be jumping in your DMs if they're looking for that assurances that if I invest in this thing, not that you're going to be their savior and you're going to give them all the results, but it's safe, like that you can trust them, they can trust you. Like there's that beautiful exchange of energy. And we have got a bit of work to do, ladies, because like I say, some real shady narcs have just literally cleaned out great women. I know women that have remortgaged their house to pay for high ticket coaches to be in programs that they had no business being in. Like they were not ready for that level of investment, but they thought that either, or they were told that it would shortcut their success. Guess what? There's no shortcuts to success. There are no hacks and viral trends that are going to make you a fortune overnight. And if they do, you won't be able to replicate it. You won't have safety around that income. You won't be able to leverage that and use it as a stepping stone to create stackable success on top. It will be like, made money, don't know how I did it, don't know if I can replicate it. That's a much more fearful place to be from, and it's not a good place to then create and run a business from. So I wouldn't recommend it. Let me know in the comments if that resonates with you. I'm so sorry that I can't see them. I will come back to them now. So yeah, so my next step was to commit to mastery. I thought if I'm going to know this stuff and I'm going to put myself forward as a personal brand, not that I wanted a personal brand, I didn't want to be famous, but it's like I recognized that women would need to know that I know my stuff in order to invest in me. But equally, I wanted to know my stuff. I wanted to know when I worked with a client that there was more than one size fits all. It was this or I'm fucked, I can't help you. You know, like, and I've been to professionals where they are the master of their thing, but everything outside of it they've got no awareness of. So it's like, yes, they might be great at sales, but they can't help you with lead generation. They can't help you with building a personal brand. They can't help you with any of the other stuff that actually needs to happen either before or after to actually make that a really great offer, you know? And even if you just got an awareness, it helps. So what I did was I became an online business manager for other high level coaches. So I came in, I became a launch strategist. So I ran their launches. I facilitated and created and community managed their memberships. And these were coaches that were 6 and 7 figures, because I thought I need to know, and I didn't necessarily have the money. I mean, I did have the money to invest, but equally, you know, I didn't know if this was going to be my thing, and I didn't want to put so much pressure on it that I've gone all in and spent all of our family money. I wanted to come from it a place of this is my opportunity to really lean into what is probably my soul's purpose, and I want to do it in a way where there is no ego or expectation or force attached. I can just kind of like see just see how I feel about it, see if this is definitely for me. And obviously instantly, as soon as I got in, yeah, 100%, this is my jam. This lights me up. The data, the numbers, the systems, like it was everything that I didn't even know was my jam. You know, like I wouldn't have told you that I was a good salesperson. I wouldn't have told you that I could write creative copy. I wouldn't have told you, because my corporate career didn't ever really put me in those environments where I could thrive in that way. And then becoming a business owner, it's like already I had that commercial awareness. I could identify the opportunities. Now I know with my human design, I'm a manifesting generator. Like I'm always meant to be in those places where there are lots of moving parts and things going on. And but I had to commit to mastery, so I did that. Gave me some really great insights as to, you know, the potential for my clients that want to scale, and equally the practical like foundations for the clients that are just startups. It made me realize things that you actually don't need, that is a load of BS. And when I could then see coaches saying it's this one thing, I'd be like, no, it's not. No, it's not. So it enabled me to be more discerning around where I was investing my money. But equally, yeah, it just meant that when my clients came to me, it's like, if that doesn't feel good to you, we can do it without, because I know that we can. I've seen clients do it. So it really just gave me that, you know, made me a better coach, made me a better woman, you know, humbled me a little bit because I hadn't worked for anybody for a while. So it gave me a lot of like fire up my own ass that I don't want to be somebody else's punching bag, and I don't want to do this anymore. I want to work for myself 100%. But sometimes you've got to be reminded of that, haven't you, and who the fuck you are. So that was good. And it, yeah, reminded me the kind of coach that I don't want to be. You know, there was some real shady practices going on behind the scenes, but so it also gave me that level of conviction and the need for leadership in the coaching space that isn't, you know, I've got to say it, but it's really driving me mad. There's a lot of coaches right now that are, and it's like the 10 degrees of separation. They're being coached by one big coach. They are then all regurgitating the same thing. I've been going through like some stuff myself about whether even my own language feels in alignment, but you know, trailblazers, icon, like all of these things, it's like, it just implies that there can be only one. You can be your own goddamn trailblazer, but equally, the only true trailblazer is the manifester. In human design, we need the collective energy to create innovation. It's like we need to be part of a collective to harness the power of the masterminds and to come up with creative, resourceful, innovative solutions. We don't need to be on our lonely island as a woman and fuck everybody else. Like, it's really not sitting well with me, and it's really making me question a lot of things myself, because I'm seeing this really toxic masculine energy coming through from coaches, and it's like from one to the next, to the next, to the next, and it seems to be like a buzzword. And it's like, ladies, we don't need any of that. You don't need to be aggressive. You don't need to be alone. You don't need to be creating necessarily anything different. You just got to do it your own goddamn way. There's more than enough abundance for all of us. You don't need to be anybody else but you. And, you know, make sure that you're supported in that journey, like, and you'll be pretty good. So yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but it gave me that insight as to who I don't want to be. And then it gave me that sense of need for leadership. Really got me out of my own way. Because here's the thing, it's like, you don't just wake up as Beyonce one day, you suddenly become Beyonce. And it comes from, imagine you've got like a little empty cup when you come into the online space and you're new and you're just kind of learning and doing your thing. Like, it's these little things, when you commit to mastery, when you go above and beyond, when you remove your ego and ask the questions, get yourself in the rooms, you invest in mentors that can explain the why behind, like, I get it, you're doing that thing, but why? Why are you doing that? You know, I was never afraid to look silly and ask questions. And I think that has meant that people have underestimated me. But equally, it means that I've got a natural curiosity. I'm not going to change that and be super guarded because I'm in the online space. Has bit me on the ass, but I don't care. Like, you know, people will only bite me once and then that's it. You're like cut off, you know, in the sense that I'm not going to allow myself to be used, but I'm going to hope that and trust that everybody is a good person until they prove me otherwise. And then the worst thing that you can do is not be in my energy, because I know that I am an innovator. I know that I am a useful person to have in your black book, and that I am a supporter and champion of women. So it sucks to be those women that have like either underestimated me or shit on me in some way, because now they don't get access to me. And that's how you need to feel as well. So and really stand in your power and know your self-worth. And that comes from continually like pouring into that little cup of self-worth, self-confidence, self-belief, like all of the things. And it is those little tiny actions when it's like, do you know what, I didn't need to do that thing, but I did it anyway, and now I've got an incredible client result, and now I've learned something from that process. You know, every investment that I've made, not, some of them have been terrible, some of them were completely pointless, but do you know what, again, just gave me that discernment that I don't need to. What was it about this sales page that really drew me in? Oh, it was this. Okay, well, that's an opportunity for growth for me, or that's quite a clever way of positioning it. Like, there's always something. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there, not at the point of financial jeopardy. But, you know, my first round of coaching clients, I charged like £350 for. And it was only when literally 10 people bit my arm off in one day that I was like, I think I fucked up. Like, maybe that was too cheap. And it was only like 6 weeks together, but the results that they were getting in that 6 weeks were insane. But again, that gave me that was like a baptism of fire, and it gave me everything I needed to fully, because it was typically the same things. Like, they were all launching, they wanted like funnels and stuff set up. So you best believe after doing 10 of those back to back in a 6 week time frame, I could literally whip out a funnel in 20 minutes. And it was super easy, and all of the things. It meant when somebody then, I wanted a funnel created, and somebody wanted to charge me like £4,000. And I was like, are you joking? Like, I was offended. And I was like, that is so sad, because it's a 15-minute job. Like, and you are trying to charge me £4,000 for that. That's really pissed me off on behalf of my clients that don't know any better. But equally, that has given me conviction. That has given me, and I always say, like, to stand out online, you need to stand up for something. Like, this is all like just beautiful little lessons, and adding like layers and depth, even the failures, adding depth to your character, to your skill set, to your toolkit, that you can then go on and leverage in other ways. So day 2 is all around committing to mastery and really going above and beyond for your clients to give an incredible result. And that comes from not being afraid to fail, to investing in, you know, being the best at whatever it is that you can do and you can be, even if it's just like not investing money, but investing time, you know, energy, putting yourself in the right rooms, being humble like me, working for somebody else and learning your craft before you then go off and, you know, sell that to somebody else. The amount of people that come into the online space, even as like social media managers, and yet they don't have a social media presence, and they've never worked with clients, but they're trying to charge hard ticket. And it's like, you're just trying to regurgitate something that you got from a program. Why don't you go instead, from a sense of curiosity, build your own page, build somebody else's page, and have some social proof? Go and learn some lessons, go and get some discernment around the things that you are passing along as truth, and learn for yourself if you believe in those things, before you then go and try and charge somebody else high ticket just because somebody said you could. You know, and it is like swallowing that elephant. You know, sometimes you've got to do your time a little bit in business, but it will be for your own good, and it will be for the greater good of your clients and your longevity in business. So there's always a blessing to doing that. And if that means that you then need to take a part-time job to subsidize your business, you know, I still had my other businesses going for some time in my coaching business, because I always wanted to be in integrity, and I always wanted to be selling from a place of I can help you, rather than I need this fucking money, like, please pay me, you know. And it was like a good couple of years before I got rid of my other businesses, and my income had like been replaced and all the things, so that I could then stand in my power and in my boundaries and be really discerning about who I wanted to work with without coming from a place of fear. So amazing. So I'm so glad that you've enjoyed this episode. Obviously, as always, if you want to you know, really lean into this work further and see how that translates to your business, commit to mastery, put yourself in the right rooms, be in community, then I would love to extend an invitation for you to come and join the Aligned, Empowered and Abundant Academy this month. Not only will you get free access to the Little Red Book Society, which is the ultimate women in business networking group, that again will increase your visibility, increase your connections, increase your chance of referrals and leads to your business, give you opportunities for that feedback and collaborations, but also you will get a free ticket to our CEO Christmas brunch next month in Hertfordshire, which is worth £147 alone. So it's like an absolute no-brainer, but you'll also be setting yourself up for the ultimate year of success and support and guidance and your next level. So I'm going to pop the details below. I would love to see you in there, and then I will be back tomorrow. Let me know your key takeaways.